the quick version is I'm going to give you a quick summary of The Miracle Equation. This is a book by Hal Elrod. A lot of you guys are probably familiar with him. He wrote the book The Miracle Morning, which I will fully admit to resisting, just because I've always said I'm not a morning guy and I don't want to do it. And so when I found this other book, The Miracle Equation, that didn't require me to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I was drawn to this one more so than the other one. And I just started reading The Miracle Morning again as a result of going through this one. But I like The Miracle Equation because it kind of is a practical guide to what Hal would describe as creating miracles. And essentially that is, what can we do in a very practical way to achieve the impossible? And if you've ever heard me talk, you know that I believe that things are only impossible until you decide they're not, and you decide you're willing to pay the price required to make them possible. Those are two very different things, and both of them are prerequisites. Now that's my language, and he, in this book, delivers something very similar that I'll share with you guys. But a couple of the key concepts that I'll share with you is the first thing that he says that might rub folks the wrong way initially, especially if you've ever been the quote unquote victim of traumatic experiences like he has. He's had two near-death experiences, one a very bad battle with a very rare cancer, as well as I believe it was a car accident, if I'm speaking from memory, so hopefully that's right. But he says every negative emotion or feeling that you've ever experienced was self-created, which that can be a lot to swallow because he didn't create the cancer, right? But his point is that he created the resistance to it. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be happy that you have cancer. It doesn't mean you have to, pretend. You're not in denial. You're not pretending it's not there. But the thing is that the negative emotions and feelings don't help us. And it's that resistance that puts us in that bad state of mind that actually hurts our ability to cope with whatever it is we're dealing with. So he's talking about fixing these negative states with radical acceptance. And his rule is he gives himself 5 minutes to have a pity party and be pissed off and swear and throw stuff. And when the 5-minute buzzer goes off, he just has to switch and say, listen, I can't change it. I have to accept it. I don't have to be happy, but I have to accept that I can't change it and figure out what I can do proactively to better my current situation, which that resonates with me because I believe very strongly that anytime we're, woe is me, having this pity party where we're the victim and we're pretending that other people, we're giving up control of how we feel and we're pretending other people can quote unquote save us, and that's just not going to happen. That's for us to do. So that resonated with me, as did this next part, which is what he calls the 2 ingredients to inevitable success. And these relate to what I shared a couple minutes ago, and that is, one, in order to succeed and achieve what most would call impossible, you need an unwavering faith in your ability, right? If you don't believe that you can do it, you're never going to get started. So you need to believe that you have the ability to achieve it. And then you have to have extraordinary effort. And he makes a point, and this is what I want to kind of convey to you guys relative to storage, is it's not one big remarkable action that he's talking about when he's talking about extraordinary effort. But instead, what he's encouraging is a series of small actions that are taken day in and day out to get you where you want to go, right? So this isn't, you don't train for a marathon by going out and running 20 miles a week before the race to get in shape. You start by running 2 or 3 or 4 miles a day, several days a week, and you do that for 6 months, and then you become a marathoner. And he's just encouraging us to take this approach in basically toward all of our goals. So that's that, guys. I'm going to move on and get into the storage stuff. Before I do, though, 2 things. One is, I believe that this quick summary, if any of it resonated with you, I would encourage you to run down the rabbit hole. I think there's 5 or probably 50 times more value in this stuff, but I'm only scratching the surface. And so you need to use it as a jumping off point, dive in, go read his blog. That'll take you to somebody else who might resonate more with you. But you need to spend time and invest the time and energy into becoming the best version of yourself. That's the only way you're going to achieve your full potential, as cliche as it sounds. So take that for what it's worth. Last thing, if you want to run down a rabbit hole, tmebonuses.com is the website that he has for this book, with some exercises and that sort of thing that you could use.